Well, the new year is almost here, or it may be here by the time I put up this video, but I know that a lot of us are going to be organizing. Of course, this year is a little different, so maybe we already did that, but it seems like the new year is always a time to organize, clean out things, fresh new start. And I was going to do that myself, was starting to go through my makeup, and then I thought, well, what happens when makeup expires? Should I keep it or should I pitch it? What can I do with expired makeup? If you're like me and you had these questions, then keep on watching, because by the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of what happens when makeup expires and some ideas on how you can repurpose, recycle that expired makeup. My name is Stacy. If you are new here, I put out new beauty-related videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you would like to see more educational makeup videos like this, it's not every week, but I do intermix them here and there. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that little notification bell down below. It makes it easier for you to find my videos. Just side note, these are new glasses. They're supposed to be anti-glare. They are definitely a little bigger than what I normally wear, so I'm not sure if I like them yet or not, but we will see. I definitely need my glasses for this video because there's a lot of information, so I will have the timestamps down below. First, let's talk about how to know if it is expired or not. Well, first you want to look for if there is an expiration date. Now, a lot of skincare items have expiration dates, not all, but makeup, it's really hard to find an actual expiration date, I've noticed on it. Now, F.A.R.A.H, they have the actual expiration date on their packaging, which I think is awesome, but a lot of makeup doesn't. Instead, it has a period after opening date, which usually looks like a little jar with an open lid, and that will have a number and an M. That M represents months, so that is the number of months that it is good to use after you open it. So the shelf life of a product goes on when you first open it, when the product first is exposed to air, versus when you've purchased it. The expiration date is when it is going to go bad by whether it's opened or unopened. Of course, if you open it, it does speed up the process. And if you can't find that little jar, or for me personally, I'm trying to get better about writing when I've opened a product on the actual product or the box, but a lot of them I have forgotten to do that. So, okay, we have this item, and this is a Lancome base, eyeshadow base. So it says this is a 24-month shelf life, but I have no idea when I opened it, when I bought it, anything. So what you can do is, this does have a number here, and most products, they should have this. Actually, all of them should have it. Sometimes it'll be on the packaging instead of the actual product, but this is the batch code. Since manufacturers are not going to be making just this product individually, they're going to make a big batch of this material, fill it with the containers, and that's how they're going to do it. So this batch code is a way to tell the manufacturer and the supplier the date of when this batch was made. There is a couple websites that you can go to. Now, not all of the products are listed on here, but checkcosmeticnet.net or checkfresh.com. Now, not all the manufacturers are on there, so if you can't find the expiration date, you don't know when you opened it, the batch code that manufacturer isn't on those websites, you can't find anything, then you have to go to your senses. Let's smell the product. So we smell it. If it smells bad, and if it smells bad or not, you want to toss it. If the color has changed, you're like, that's not how it looked when I used it, it's bad. If the texture has changed, or if it's separating, if you have a foundation and it's separating or anything like that, if it doesn't feel the same and it feels different, it's not easy to apply like it was before, the pigmentation isn't as strong as it was before, those are all signs that that is an expired product. Now we found out it's expired, which I know as I go back through my makeup over here to organize and declutter, I know there's going to be expired makeup out there. I know there's going to be makeup I paid a lot for. But what happens to it? okay, it's expired. Why can't I use it? This is why. The effective active ingredients are no longer active or effective. They have broken down, they become compromised, they can turn into something else, as molecules, just a little bit of chemistry, I guess, but as molecules break down, they can break off and break into different things. So you may have a reaction to that you never had before because now the ingredient and the molecules are different. The minute you open that item and it is exposed to the air, in that minute, it's exposed to bacteria. And then when you put the lid or the cap back on, the bacteria in it continues to grow and grow and grow. So if I have this concealer, there's bacteria on it. I put it on my face. Whatever bacteria and oil is on my face is being transferred to this. I put the cap back on. Then another time I use it. So whatever, it's back and forth. You're transferring, whether it's a brush or the actual applicator, you're transferring the bacteria that was in the product to your face and from your face to the product. And you may think, well, what's the big deal? Maybe I'll take a chance with it. Maybe I'll get a reaction or a little bit of redness, swelling, but it can also cause serious infections. Also, natural products, as I'm going through the timeline by category, natural products are going to expire faster than your not so natural ones, I guess you'd say. But it can cause serious infections, especially anything with around your eyes. You don't want to take a chance on that. You only have 2 eyes, so why risk it? So now we're going to go category by category and talk about what the shelf life is and what exactly happens to that type of product when it is expired. So let's start with foundation. It usually lasts up to 1 year after opening. If you haven't opened it, it can be up to 3 years before opening it. So what can happen is the ingredients will start to separate and the oil will rise to the top. Even if it is an oil-free formula, it doesn't matter. It still has some oil ingredients in there. And the reason is so that it can spread smoothly on your face. So no matter what formula, there's gonna be some type of oil in there. So after a while, it'll separate, the oil will move to the top. Then even when you shake that, you're not getting it fully shaken because it's broken down. Then you're putting mostly oil on your face so it can clog your pores, cause acne, nothing that we want. One tip to help with your foundation lasting longer, you really want to try to minimize the amount of bacteria that's going to get in there. So if you have the foundation, try to keep your fingers away from the neck of it. Concealers usually last 6 months to a year. You want to make sure that you keep them out of sunlight. Well, pretty much actually all products keep them out of sunlight. And try to avoid touching the applicator with your fingers. And again, on your face. Like this is an Elizabeth Arden pen, but I have the Yves Saint Laurent and the e.l.f. I was putting them just directly on my eyes. And then after I started researching this, I don't do that anymore. I put it on my back of my hand and then I use a brush to apply it and then tap it in with my finger. So this one though, this is expired. Elizabeth Arden. It looks all right. I mean, it's a little bit kind of chunky, but it stinks. So again, that's how you know, because this one, I could not find the batch code, so I have no idea when it was made. Pressed powders can be 3 years after opening and 5 years before opening. Powdered blush, bronzer, and highlighter, these are a little bit more tricky because when you look at them, a lot of times they don't look expired, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you should use them. They're not quite as risky as a foundation or a cream product, but still, they can last for 1 year after the expiration date. So you do have definitely a longer shelf life usability for those items. They start to harden and they usually lose pigmentation, and that is how you know they're expired. What makes powdered products harden is the oils from your face as you're using the brush and then you're dipping it back into that pan. Those oils from your face are being transferred to that powdered product, and that is the cause of them hardening. So what you can do is, if they are crumbling or they're hardening, never use saliva to soften them. That is introducing additional bacteria. what you want to do is you can take a butter knife and just lightly scrape off the top layer, and then that way you're getting the fresh new layer. That is one way to extend the life of your powdered products. No judgment here, but comment below yes or no if you have ever used an expired product, or if you're pretty sure you have. Again, no judgment, and don't judge anybody down below in the comments, because personally, I know I have used expired products, and actually just today, which I know it's not good, but this Yves Saint Laurent lipstick, I'm pretty sure expired. When I do my declutter, I'm gonna look up everything, but I still used it today, so yeah, I'm guilty of it as I'm filming this video, so no judgment, but give me a yes or no down below if you have used expired products. Cream, blush, bronzer, or highlighter, any that you dip your finger into, it is suggested that you toss after 1 year, because again, you may have guessed it, the bacteria from your fingers are getting into the product. Cream, blushes, and sticks are usually good up to 2 years, and it is recommended if you take a tissue, soak it in rubbing alcohol, and then wipe down the top at least once a month. Or, I don't know, you could try the butter knife thing and see if that works. That might work too. But the cream expired products are kind of like the foundation. They can irritate your skin and they can clog your pores, which can cause acne. Eyeshadow, oh, and at the end of this, I will give just general tips on how to help expand the life of your products. That is not a substitution for throwing away expired makeup and not using it, but just how to help expand. Eyeshadows, they're powdered ones, usually good for a year, 3 years before opening. And again, you just want to see, like, do they go on right? Or they, the texture is okay? Are they still pigmented? And maybe if you're noticing anything that they just don't seem like they used to, either discard them, don't use them anymore, repurpose them, which I'll give you some ideas, or use the butter knife trick and get that top layer off. Eye pencils, lip pencils, they're usually good also for a year after opening, 3 years before. A great way to make sure that you are getting all that bacteria off is to sharpen them after or before each time you use it. Gel eyeliner, you want to discontinue using after 2 months, because since they're usually in a little pot, they can get the bacteria trapped in there. Liquid eyeliner, gel eyeliner, and mascara. These are the things, if you take anything away, these are the things to really do not use when they are expired. They are so close to your eyes and it is just not worth risking it. So liquid eyeliner is 3 to 4 months. And again, it can cause redness, irritation, and an infection in your eye. If the liner starts to lose color, if it's dried out and just not effective, then it's no good. Mascara. I know I have been guilty of using expired mascara, and I need to make sure I stop that. It's best to replace your mascara every 3 months. So, the purpose of your eyelashes is there to protect your eyes. So any particles in the air or anything, your eyelashes are protecting it. So they are gathering that stuff. So when you apply the mascara to your lashes, that stuff is getting on that mascara wand. You're dipping it back into the wand and then you're reapplying it. You can make sure you do the smell test with mascara. If it doesn't smell right, just toss it. But before you toss the whole thing, make sure you listen to the end of the video, because there is a great way what you should do with the wands. And also, I don't know if everybody still does it, but I know a lot of people, like, you pump the mascara wand back in there to get everything. Don't do that, because it is pumping air into it, which is causing more bacteria. And also, if it doesn't last throughout the day, that is a sign that it is expired too. So yeah, when I was reading this, like, after I researched for this video, I'm just like, ooh, maybe I should get disposable wands all the time. And I don't know. I'm not showing any gross bacteria under microscope or anything, because I can't handle watching that. So none of that in this video. I should have said that up front, but yeah, it did make me kind of rethink how I apply some things. So lipstick, I have a ton of lipstick, and I haven't used this lipstick as much as I used to, but it lasts up to a year after opening and 3 years prior to opening. So you really want to pay attention if there's any mold, if it smells bad, like, and if you've ever smelled an expired lipstick, like especially the bullet lipsticks, you know, like that is an awful smell when they go bad. And I am guilty of this. I store a lipstick in my purse, but I'm going to try not to do that anymore because you don't want to store lipstick or actually any of your makeup in a warm place. You want to store it in a dry, cool setting. So even though the bathroom may be convenient, that is not the best place to store your makeup because that warm environment is helping bacteria grow. It can cause your lips to swell if you use expired makeup. And if you've ever had a cold sore or infection or anything like that, whatever lipstick you were using at that time, you want to toss that. And a little tip is if you've ate something and you want to reapply the lipstick, before putting that right on, just take a tissue and wipe your lips just to make sure you got all the food particles off. Because if you don't do that, even though it doesn't look like you have food on your lips, you may have some tiny particles and then that is getting pushed into the lipstick. So brushes and sponges, they can play a huge part in helping our makeup last longer. So you should replace your sponge. They recommend every 3 months and to wash after each use. And you should clean your brushes at least once a week if you are using them daily. And don't forget to wipe down the handle too, because your oils and bacteria are also on the handles. So if you're touching this and then you're touching your face, so just wipe them down too. And I will say I am trying out different brush cleaners. Let me know if you want me to do a whole video on it. I have the Bare Minerals, a spray one that is a quick one, then the e.l.f. charcoal soap solid one, and recently started trying Cinema Secrets. My friend here on YouTube, Debutante, recommended this and loved this. So let me know down below if you want to see a separate video on different ways to clean your brushes. And if you want to know, just like when I first purchased this, going forward, I have a Facebook group that I'll just post this in like, hey guys, just got this, loving it so far. If you want to make sure that you get tips like that before I actually sit down to do a video, or sometimes I might even forget to mention them in a video, then make sure that you head over onto my Facebook beauty group. It's Staci Lee Beauty. I'll have the link down below and sign up there. It's free and I will be posting new videos, tips, sales, anything like that over there. And I'd love to get a conversation with the community. So what can we do to help expand the life? Granted, you can't make it last longer, but there are ways that you can kind of help the process not speed up. So how to do that? The main thing is you want to always be thinking about how can I keep bacteria out of my product. If you're using a jar, get those little plastic spatulas and do that instead of putting your finger in the cream or jar. I didn't talk about skincare, but I can do a video on expirations for skincare if you'd like. Let me know. If your formula comes in tubes or an airless pump, that is the best option for not getting contamination in it. If you want to, you could transfer, if it's a jar product, you could transfer it into a bottle that has an airless pump. I don't think used many products with an airless pump, so I'm not sure how they work. And if you're using a brush and you're going to be switching products, try to wipe down that brush either like with a color switch, or if you can, use separate brushes, just because let's say I'm using a brush for blush. So I dip into the pan, put it on, and then I want to use the same brush for highlights. So I go over to my highlighter and I'm dipping it in that pan. Whatever bacteria was in the blush is now could be transferred onto the highlighter. This face product, or the bacteria from my face, is transferred onto it. So you want to try, if you have the capability of having different brushes, to use one brush for each product. If you are keeping your makeup in a makeup bag, which I feel like this might be a forgotten area, make sure you take up all that makeup out, and at least once a month wipe down the inside of that makeup bag. You also want to always make sure, we've definitely learned in 2020 how important washing hands is. You want to wash your hands before you sit down to do your makeup. And you want to sanitize your eyelash curler. Each time you use it, you can use a cotton pad and just put a small amount of rubbing alcohol and wipe it down and let it dry 24 hours before using it. And again, sharpen your pencils, store your makeup in a cool, dry place, and try to not double dip so much. And just, I've been trying lately, like if I'm going back in and wanting to get more product on the brush, I just kind of do a quick of this color switch. Even though I'm not switching colors, I just feel like maybe that's getting a little bit of bacteria off. So try to maybe do that. I don't know about you, but when I go through mine, do my declutter, and I know that I'll come across some expired makeup, that will make me feel sad. So what can you do with it? Obviously you can throw it away, but that's sad, right? Like, you've bought this and it's a nice product and you still have some left and you gotta throw it away. So let's see what other ways we can use that expired makeup. Number 1, eyeshadows. With all the palettes, I know that we have some expired eyeshadow. So what you can do is you can crush the eyeshadow up and then add it to your clear nail polish, and then you can have your own unique nail polish color. So I love that idea. Mascaras, the wands, you can clean them in soapy water and then you can use them with hairspray and kind of comb down your little stragglers. If you're like me, you have little stragglers, or you can use it for your eyebrows. Or the next part, you can recycle them. Old makeup brushes you can use as paint brushes for crafts, arts, and you can use the small brushes for nail art as well. And toners. I know that this video I just talked about makeup, but I just wanted to throw this in here. If you have old toners or cleansers that have alcohol in them, since they do have usually quite a bit of alcohol in them, you can actually use them as a glass or window cleaner. I thought that was awesome. Didn't know that before. So, okay, you've tossed some, you're gonna repurpose some, and you still have things left. What else can you do? Well, let's go on to recycle. The mascara wands, you can clean them in soap and water, and then you can send them to help the wildlife. Log on to wandsforwildlife.org and find out more information, but I think that is a great program. I am saving wands currently that I'm going to be doing that because I know I have expired mascaras. You can also look on TerraCycle.com. They have some specific programs where they work with certain brands where you can have them recycle, kind of hard to recycle things that normally aren't. And some brands have their own recycling program. So just check out the brand's websites if you're curious. Usually if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there'll be an About Us page or question and answer. And a lot of times if they do have their own recycling program, they will have an option for you to click that says recycle, which I think is great. I just recently bought some Ilia products to try out. They are a clean brand. And what actually kind of bumped it over the top for me of saying, yes, I really want to try this brand, is their recycling program. And not only do they recycle their brand, they will recycle any brand, which I just think is awesome. I can't wait to try out those products and see how they perform. I'm hoping that they perform good. They're a little bit pricey, but with having that program and them being clean, I just think that's awesome. So it is only for US customers, and you can mail up to 5 empty products back per month. Theirs, and like I said, other brands, that's awesome. So they partner with that TerraCycle to get them recycled, and it doesn't end up in a landfill. So what you can do is you can go on their website, you fill out the form, you get a prepaid shipping label, you box them up, put the label on, and off it goes to your local post office. Another brand that I know has a recycling program is Pacifica. You can earn points with them when you send back empties, and you can visit their website to see which products, it's not all of their products, but to see which ones you can send back, and you can add up to 8. Again, their process is the same. You get a prepaid shipping label, you pack it up, you put the label on, and you send it back to them. And I think that MAC, Aveda, Lush, Kiehl's, they also have their own recycling program. So if you're in question, like I said, just go to the website and see if they offer it. I feel like this video was a lot of talking. It's a lot of information, but I found it useful. I hope that you found it useful. Let me know what is your biggest takeaway from this. And if you want to check out other kind of educational videos, I will link them up on the screen now. I did one about cruelty-free and then one talking about the difference between pressed pigments and eyeshadows. If you have any other suggestions, again, always let me know. I figure the next educational one will be on makeup history, but let me know if there's something specific. And if you found this video helpful, I hope that you will hit that subscribe button if not already. Give me a like and share this with anyone you think might find it interesting as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back here. Bye!